Cindy always kept in touch with her college bestie, Kelly. They met freshman year and stuck together like glue. Roommates, ride or die. During Cindy's 9-month engagement to Rick, Kelly was her chaos partner and emotional backup. Cindy played it steady. Kelly, total firecracker. No plans, just vibes. Cindy kept her out of real trouble, even when Kelly hated it. But she'd always come back around with a sheepish grin and say, "You're the one I actually need. You know that?" One day in January, Kelly hit her up with a classic. "Cindy, come with me to a wedding in Napa. 3 weeks out. My boss is tying the knot, and I need a damn date," Kelly said, voice buzzing with energy. "Sounds wild," Cindy replied, already half laughing. "It will be. Wine, dancing, and some fine A dudes in dress shirts. Plus, the bride's the twin sister," Kelly added, trying to sweeten the deal. "Fun for who, exactly?" Cindy asked, eyebrows raised. "Girl, don't be a prude," Kelly shot back. "Let that blonde hair breathe a little. A break from Rick and the Gremlins might even spice things up." "Appreciate it, sis," Cindy said dryly. "Maybe we bring Rick then?" "Nope. Invite says guest. Singular." Kelly grinned. That night, after wrangling the twins into bed, Cindy brought it up to Rick. "So Kelly wants me to roll with her to this wedding in Napa," she said. Rick didn't miss a beat. "Better go keep her in line, Cinderella. Might be fun. And hey, if you swing by Froggy's Leap, grab a case of that 16 cab." "And the kids?" Cindy asked. "Thinking we hit up my folks. Haven't been in months. They'd eat up a weekend with the twins. Go, enjoy. Keep Kelly from getting arrested." Rick smiled. Cindy looked at him for a sec, just grateful. The guy really was solid. 3 weeks later, she sat at a winery in Napa. Gorgeous view, sipping wine, and annoyed. Kelly was out on the dance floor, spinning like a tornado with a groomsman who looked fresh out of college. Cindy, staying put, chatted with Sally, a cousin of the bride. "Honestly," Sally said, "this whole wedding's been a hot mess. If someone actually knew how to plan, this could have been amazing." That line stuck in Cindy's head. She looked back at Kelly, now practically draped on the poor kid's neck. Rescue was going to be needed soon. But Sally's comment had planted a seed. 6 months later, that seed bloomed into We Plan, You Play, Cindy's new business. She swapped classroom lesson plans for wedding timelines, researched, hustled, built it up right. 2 years in, Cindy's business was thriving. She had a real soft spot for small destination weddings. Coastal views, intimate settings, good vibes. That's when she met Bennett Davis. Bennett ran 3 boutique hotels, San Diego, Santa Barbara, Monterey. At 26, he went all in, restoring a rundown 90-year-old mansion in Santa Barbara. Finished it under budget, just in time, then ground out 100-hour weeks for 2 straight years. Year 3, broke even. Year 4, in the green. He added 2 more properties. Now 40, Bennett had his thing locked down. Sharp, serious, but chill. He had a confirmed bachelor rep, CBNA, as his friends joked. Confirmed bachelor, not an a-hole. Upfront. Respectful. Honest about his vibe. 16 months before everything flipped, Cindy met him at a hospitality convention in L.A. She had her We Plan, You Play booth. He was walking with his manager, Lori Templeton. Later, Bennett told her, "Your booth was tight, but it was your eyes. Bright blue, real mischievous, kinda threw me." "I did a small double take," Cindy admitted later. "You were hot, but didn't look like an idiot." They started talking, supposed to be 5 minutes. 45 later, they were still at it. Bennett led with the hard stuff. "What's your success rate? Team structure? Worst event? Best one? How do you price things? Margin? Overhead?" Then he slipped in some curveballs. "Favorite wine? You dance? Beach or mountains?" Cindy noticed he clocked her ring but didn't push. Just kept it respectful, friendly. She liked that. "Pinot Noir," she said. "Willamette Valley, 2014. Evening Land, less sources." Bennett raised a brow. "Nice pick. I can waltz if I have to," Cindy added. "But I'd rather twist or tango, with my husband, obviously." "Mountains in summer, beach in winter," she finished with a grin. She didn't flip the questions back, just let the moment sit. Lori nearby gave a quiet laugh. She'd seen that look from Bennett before, leaned in, eyes focused. He was into it. As they wrapped up, exchanged cards, Bennett offered, "Lori and I are grabbing dinner at Fogo de Chao in a bit. Want to join?" Lori noticed something. "You used her full name," she said, side-eyeing Bennett. He shrugged. "Seemed right. Wanted to keep it pro." Cindy gave a polite smile. "Thanks for the invite. But I gotta bounce after I pack up the booth. Want to catch Rick and the twins before bedtime." She paused, then added, But I'd love to come check out your property soon. Next week or the one after. They landed on the week after next. Lunch and a walkthrough at the Santa Barbara spot, his first, his favorite. Cindy and Lori swapped numbers. Cindy shook both their hands, then dipped. As they walked off, Lori kept glancing at Bennett. He caught her staring. "What?" he asked, trying to play innocent. "You saw the ring, right?" Lori said flat. Bennett smirked. "A guy can still flirt, can he?" "Oh, that's what that was," she replied. Dry as hell. Cindy's visit went smooth as silk. She left early, gave herself 4 hours to drive the 120 miles, made it in 3, even had time to swing by the old mission, showed up at 11:45 sharp. The valet opened her door. "Welcome to the Winfield Scott Hotel, Mrs. Thomas." She took that as a good sign. Walking up the front steps, she spotted him. Bennett. Khakis, crisp navy shirt, leather belt and shoes. Top tier, but not loud. The shirt made his eyes pop. Dude cleaned up real nice. Cindy didn't usually check other men, not because she was clueless, she just had Rick. And he was more than enough. But Bennett, yeah, he was on that same level. Maybe even edged Rick out in the looks department. That thought caught her off guard. Also, no sign of Lori. Bennett stepped forward, hand out. "Glad you made it, Cindy. Been looking forward to showing you the place. Think we've got something good here." She smiled back, shook his hand. "Thanks, Bennett. Place looks great so far." Neither said it out loud, but they both felt it. Same spark from LA, still there. Both were workers, no ego, no BS. They liked that about each other. Cindy wore a black sleeveless sundress, clean cut, simple. Her scarf framed her face, set off her blue eyes. Sandals gave her a little height, brought her close to 5'8". She dressed sharp, but never flashy. She knew looks helped in business. Didn't hurt that Bennett clearly noticed. They walked the grounds. Cindy started hitting him with questions right away. He didn't mind, liked her style. Staff greeted her by name, which impressed her. Lunch was out on the patio. White tablecloth, little vase with wildflowers, ocean view stretching out behind them. A bottle of Willamette Valley Pinot already waiting, the exact one she mentioned in LA. Bennett pulled her chair out and thought, she's sharp. Got to keep my game tight. They talked about the drive, the recent fires, the water. About 10 minutes in, Lori showed up with a folder in hand and a smile. Cindy stood to hug her. "Good to see you," Cindy said warmly. She liked Bennett, but she really liked Lori. Lunch ran about 45 minutes. Cindy only had a glass and a half of wine. Clear signal. She was there to work. After, Lori stepped away, and Bennett gave her the full tour. Cindy already knew the story. The hotel named after a 1583 shipwreck. She grinned. "Maybe your luck came from the treasure," she joked. Bennett winked. "That's not the treasure I'm chasing." They both cracked up, then moved on. Lori rejoined them later. The three sat in Bennett's office and locked in a few deals. Cindy would start booking weddings and reunions at the hotel. Good terms. Win-win. Later, as her white Passat got pulled up front, Lori said her goodbyes and left. Bennett and Cindy were alone. He shook her hand, firm, warm, held it a little longer than needed. "Really glad we did this," Bennett said. "I know this will be a solid partnership. And I'm glad I got to know you too, like, for real." Then he leaned in, kissed her cheek, light but deliberate. Cindy smiled, kept it professional. "Thanks for the tour. I'll circle back with Lori on those wedding leads." As she drove off, a weird flutter hit her chest. She tried to shake it, but Bennett, standing at the top of those stairs, all smooth and put together, kept flashing in her head. She caught sight of a book in the back seat. The Most Magnificent Thing, Sarah's favorite. It yanked her right back to reality. "Girl, you're spending too much time with Kelly," she thought. "You're not 16, you're married. Snap the hell out of it." Guilt slammed down hard. She had a good man, 2 great kids, no room for daydreams about some hotel guy. She hated that her mind had even gone there. She scolded herself for 20 straight minutes, then turned on a podcast about women in business and forced her focus back. But if she'd been honest, she was already dancing too close to the edge. Back at the hotel, Bennett hit his office, knocked out a few quick emails, then headed up to his suite, planned to rest before his usual beach run, but lying on the bed, his mind drifted to her. Yeah, she was beautiful, but it wasn't just that. He'd been with beautiful before. Cindy was different. The way she moved, her laugh, the look she gave him walking out, that one stayed. "She's married, man," he muttered, hand dragging down his face. "But damn, she's something else." At that same time, Rick was home in the kitchen, stirring pasta while the twins giggled. He thought of Cindy, her laugh, her way of filling a room. He felt lucky, deep down, solid kind of lucky. When Cindy walked in later, dinner was ready. They ate easy. Sarah told a long story about finding the neighbor's cat, Ralph, in their yard and playing with him till Mrs. Bowling came looking. She asked if they could get a pet. After the kids were out, Cindy made love to Rick. Maybe she needed to remind herself where she belonged. The next 6 months flew. Cindy's company, We Plan, You Play, hosted 4 weddings at Winfield Scott. All wins, but the signs started showing. A brush of his hand on her arm, his palm at the small of her back. Bennett always found a reason to show up when she brought clients around. Cindy never said stop, didn't ask for it. But she didn't shut it down either. Rick only came once to see the venue. Bennett wasn't around that day. Out of town, Lori said. Now it was almost 1 a.m. The last wedding had wrapped. Cindy and Lori sat barefoot on the patio sipping Dom Perignon Lori had stashed from the fridge. The bride's parents had just left. Cleanup was rolling. Lori kicked off her heels, rubbing her feet. I know it's late, she said, but can we talk? Cindy followed suit, rubbed her own toes. Yeah, what's up? Lori looked over. I love working with you, and I consider you a friend. Cindy nodded, slow. Same, you okay? I don't like getting in people's business, Lori said, voice low. But I'd feel like crap if I didn't say this, can I? Cindy gave a quiet nod. Lori took a breath. You know he'll go for it if you let him. Cindy arched a brow, stayed quiet. I care about both of you, Lori said. But from day one, I saw it. You're exactly his type. Beautiful, yeah, but it's more than that. You've got presence, confidence. That drives him nuts. She paused. Only reason he hasn't made a move? He respects you, respects your marriage. But don't get it twisted. If you open that door, he's walking through it. No pressure, no games, but he'll take the shot. Cindy stared off, lips pressed tight. Lori leaned in. Whatever this is, it's not harmless. You can't keep your life and flirt with this line. Bennett won't chase. He won't wreck your home, but this ends messy if it goes too far. Lori dropped her voice. You've got a husband who adores you. Beautiful kids, a business that's booming. One wrong step, all of it could blow. Cindy's eyes filled. Her voice came soft. Oh, Lori, I'm a mess. Rick's incredible. Even now, 10 years in, we laugh, we talk deep. We've still got that fire. He's strong. He backs me up, challenges me, makes me better. Her voice cracked. But Bennett, he's something else. Not like danger, but yeah, he's a rush. And I don't get it. I don't want this. But when he looks at me a certain way, she took a sip. Lori didn't say a word. Cindy kept going. I never felt out of control with Rick. But Bennett, I lose it. And I know, if he pulled me into bed, I wouldn't fight it. She stared at nothing. 6 months ago, I'd have punched anyone who said I'd cheat. I believe in marriage. Not that open relationship stuff. Marriage is a promise, a choice. She swallowed hard. If Rick ever told me he slept with someone else, I'd be crushed. But here I am, playing with fire like I'm not already taken. Lori asked quietly, So what now? Cindy let out a breath. Her eyes were glossy. 80% of me says I'll stay strong. I won't fold. I'll keep this professional, keep working with you, and nothing crosses the line. She paused, looked down. But the other 20, it tells me I could get away with it. Once, quiet, no fallout, just get it out of my system and move on. Her voice broke. She buried her face in her hands. I want the 80% to win, but some days, that 20 feels like the whole damn thing. Lori stood and came around the table. She didn't say anything at first, just wrapped her arms around Cindy and held her. Then she spoke, soft but firm. Well, now you know where you stand. You know the risk. I hope to God you choose right. Next day, Lori walked straight into Bennett's office. No knock, she looked pissed. She stared him down. If you do this, she said flat, I quit. I'm done. He opened his mouth. She cut him off. Don't even try to lie. I've worked with you for 7 years. I'll know. You can't hide this from me. Then she turned and walked out. Door nearly slammed behind her. 3 weeks later, the storm hit. Both kinds. A freak rain rolled in. No warning. Ruined a full outdoor wedding. Guests freaked. Cindy and Lori started yelling orders, pulling people and stuff inside. Staff hustled. Umbrellas over the bride and groom. By midnight, things had calmed. What could be saved was. The reception moved indoors. Guests went to bed. Cindy and Bennett stood under the patio overhang, sea dark behind them, no one else around. Bennett touched her shoulder. Gentle. She looked beat. Storm wasn't her fault, but she wanted it perfect. That's who she was. That's what got to him. He slid an arm around her. You did your best, partner, he said low. Can't fight the weather. People still had fun. A couple years from now, they'll laugh about the wedding that got rained out. She didn't move away, just leaned into him, head on his chest. Felt good. Safe. That 80% wall she built, starting to crack. She breathed in, shaky, turned, looked him in the eyes, arms wrapped around him. He held her, serious now. Think about this, Cindy. I won't push you. If you don't want this, it ends right now. No pressure. We stay friends, work partners, but if it's not all in, we don't start. She didn't hesitate. Take me to bed, she whispered. They went to his room. All that heat finally lit. They didn't rush. It wasn't fast or dirty. It was deep, real. Afterward, in the dark, things got quiet. Talk started. How would they hide it? What rules? Could she keep it together? Bennett asked if guilt would eliminate this. Cindy said no. Said she could handle it. She wanted this, low-key, careful, as often as they could. Before sunrise, she kissed him goodbye, slipped out, planned a few hours' sleep before heading home. Couldn't roll in at noon, too risky. Bennett promised to walk her out. After she left, he stripped the bed, washed the sheets, remade it clean, then crashed until staff showed up at 6:30. Home, Sunday afternoon. Michael and Sarah heard the car and came flying outside. Didn't even let her open the door. Daddy took us to the big kiddie park. We went on the giant slide. Ralph came back, and Mrs. Bowling gave us cookies. Daddy made Mickey pancakes, and he said maybe Disneyland next week. Then Sarah asked, Mommy, did Daddy ever take you on rides? Cindy flinched. Her mind flashed straight to the night before. The things they'd said, the things they'd done. She still felt sore. She cringed inside. Then she saw Rick, standing in the doorway, dish towel in hand, Adidas shorts, old cycling tee. Damn, she thought, still hot. What the hell am I doing? She dropped her bag and walked into his arms. Hey, babe, that wedding was brutal. So glad to be home. Hope the kids didn't drive you nuts. Rick kissed her head. We always miss you, Cinderella, but I love weekends with them and I'm proud of you. I saw the storm on the news. Figured it got crazy. He turned to the kitchen. Come sit. I'll get you a glass of wine. Rub your feet. Cindy's heart sank. He calls me his Cinderella. He parents like a boss. He lets me live my dream. And now he wants to pour me wine and rub my damn feet? Get it together, girl. Don't mess this up. Don't lose him. Don't lose this. Later, kids tucked in, Rick smiled. Hot tub and wine? He said. Cindy smiled back. Sounds good. He slid his arm around her waist. Though, I'm wiped. Okay, if we just chill, skip the rest tonight? Yeah, she said, acting bummed. But inside, relief. She couldn't fake it, not tonight. He didn't suspect a thing. Rick trusted her. Always had. Next morning, Monday, Rick asked if she wanted a date night Tuesday. She lit up. Yeah, I'd love that. While she slept, Rick packed a bag for both of them, left her a note before heading to work. Dress for your Cinderella date, be ready by 4. Don't worry about the kids, it's handled. At 4 o'clock, they hugged the twins and thanked Kelly, who'd flown in to babysit. In the car, they drove. Rick didn't say where. Then he pulled into the Ritz-Carlton at Dana Point. Cindy stared. Wait, is Kelly staying overnight? Rick grinned. Yep. And you've got a bag in the trunk. Kelly packed it while you were with the kids. Her jaw dropped. She went through my underwear drawer? She did, Rick said. Said it was kind of basic housewife. But found something. Also told me you're going lingerie shopping this week. Cindy smirked. A-hole. But she was smiling. They walked the beach, ate by candlelight, then sat out on the 6th-floor balcony close to midnight. Pacific, dark and calm. Talk drifted to dreams, future plans. Rick said, They offered me partner, bigger check, less travel. Might even tag along on your wedding weekend sometimes. Cindy looked away fast. Thank God it was dark. If he saw her face right then, he might have known. She stood, kissed him on the mouth. I'm proud of you, Richard Michael Thomas. Next morning, breakfast in bed, still cozy. Rick looked at her. I'm proud of you too. Your business is eliminating it. I'd never ask you to give it up, not even if we hit the jackpot. Cindy smiled, but her heart twisted hard. How did I get this man? Don't screw this up. Still, her mind drifted, not to guilt, not to regret, but straight to Bennett. She needed to tighten up the business stuff, make sure it was bulletproof, keep the dream running. Later in life, Cindy would ask herself how she got so damn stupid. People always joked about men thinking with the wrong body part, but she did too. Her sex drive had gone wild after 30, and she'd convinced herself she could have it all. No damage, no fallout. She believed her thing with Bennett would fade out, that he'd move on and she'd settle back into her perfect family like nothing happened. She pictured graduations, college tours, grandkids, thought she could have both, the fantasy and the life. She never saw what was coming. A month later, Rick made partner. Cindy had another wedding lined up, this one down in San Diego. She met with Bennett, talked over next steps, mostly business, a little not. She reminded him of the bonus clause he'd promised for exceeding client goals. Bennett sighed. Damn, you don't miss a thing, huh? Nope, Cindy said. Business is business. You're sharper than I gave you credit for, he admitted, then nodded. Let's update the deal. They were mid-contract edits in Bennett's office when Lori walked in. Didn't knock, just came in, closed the door, and sat. She looked at Bennett, cold. Remember what I told you 4 months ago? That if you two hooked up, I'd be out? Cindy froze, face strained. Bennett didn't blink. Lori kept going. Well, here we are. You picked Zex over trust. I told you I'd know, and I did. The storm night? I was on the second floor patio, saw you kiss her, saw you carry her inside like a damn movie scene. It was pathetic. Cindy started to speak. Lori shut her down with a hand. Nah, you don't get to talk. I'm judging you. Both of you. This isn't love. This is teenage bullshit with a side of midlife crisis. She looked at Bennett. You were my mentor. I looked up to you. Now I can't even look at you. She turned to Cindy. I gave you a chance to walk away, told you the cost. You gambled anyway. Lori's voice dropped, but it hit harder. Rick doesn't deserve this, and I won't even talk about your kids, because I'll lose it if I do. This is weak and selfish, and you're both way too smart for this kind of coward crap. She took a slow breath. I started job hunting the Monday after that night. Took a while. I had options. I'm moving to Austin in August, got hired by a top planning firm, better hours, more respect. She stood. I'll finish what I started here. I'll be professional. But from now on, it's just work. No chit-chat, no fake smiles. Don't drag the staff into your mess. She looked at them both one last time. I'll tell the team I got an offer I couldn't turn down. I suggest Sharon as my replacement. Your call. Thanks for the 7 years. Good luck to you both. Then she walked out. Cindy sat frozen. Tears rolled without a sound. Her mouth stayed shut. Bennett didn't say anything for a long beat. Then he muttered low, bitter, for me. They sat there, not saying a word. Breeze coming through the French doors felt colder now. They were supposed to spend the night together, but that was done. After a few minutes, Cindy wiped her face. Bennett, I'm leaving, she said quietly. This ain't the time to fix any of this. I know we both messed up, but I'm sorry I helped cause it. I'll call in a few days. She got up, didn't wait for him to say anything, just walked out, asked valet for her car. But instead of driving home, she checked into the Courtyard Marriott in OC, used her business Amex, picked up a bottle of Maker's Mark on the way. She didn't cry in front of the staff, but once her door was locked, she drank, sat on the edge of the bed, and finally broke. Sobs shook her shoulders till she passed out. First shoe dropped. 10 days later, Lori was gone, moved to Austin like she said she would. Bennett didn't chase her, didn't try to fix it with money. He knew better. He tried texting her once. She shut him down. You can't say anything, Lori replied. Not now. Not ever. Cindy wanted to call her too, but didn't know how. A week later, she texted, I'm sorry I hurt you. You warned me. I had to say something. No reply. By early September, things shifted. Cindy and Bennett still saw each other, but something felt off. Maybe it was guilt. Or maybe Lori had been more of their glue than they thought. Still, the pull didn't go away. In October, the rhythm returned. One Saturday night after a wedding, they had the place to themselves. They slipped out of Winfield Scott and Bennett's black M8 and drove up the coast. He'd rented a hidden VRBO near the cliffs. Cozy. Isolated. Oh my God, this is beautiful, Cindy said, curling into him. She told Rick she was scouting venues near Monterey. Technically true, just not the full truth. They slept in Sunday, walked the beach, had lunch, checked out late. On the way back, they stopped in Big Sur for wine. Cindy felt high on the life. Kids good, business booming, 2 men who adored her. She thought Lori had overreacted. It had been 15 months since she first met Bennett. 8 months since things got physical. She didn't call it an affair, wouldn't let herself, but it was. And deep down, she told herself it made her sharper, better, a little thrill tucked away. She still loved Rick, still raised their kids with care, still kissed her husband goodnight. But she was about to learn the price. First weekend of December. Cindy had a wedding booked at Bennett's Monterey property. Spanish Moss Hotel, smaller place, perfect for weddings under 50 guests. The Carlisle wedding had 38. Light work for Cindy. Easy to run. Most hotel rooms weren't even booked. If Bennett had taken a second to glance at reservations, he might have noticed it. Mr. Thomas. Belladonna room, ocean view, king bed, no mention of a Mrs. Thomas. Rick had planned a surprise. Quiet, romantic. He'd been promoted recently, wanted to celebrate, reconnect. He missed her. He didn't think anything was broken. Just thought work and life had pulled them apart. He'd planned it all. Flowers, wine, Cindy's favorite bath oils. Private room, perfect view, no pressure, just love. None of the staff had ever met him, so Rick came and went unseen. He watched the rehearsal dinner from a distance, spotted Bennett, twice, didn't approach. Thought about calling him, maybe telling him about the surprise, but he wanted it to be just them. After dinner, once things seemed to wind down, Rick went looking for his wife. He checked the dining room. Empty. The patio, nope. Then he heard voices. Quiet. Around the corner. One of them? Cindy's. He smiled. Maybe she was helping the staff wrap up. He paused. Then he heard it. Her voice, low and sultry, cutting right through him. Not here. Please wait till we get back to your room. His stomach dropped like a brick in water. He stepped around the corner, slow and quiet, and what he saw locked him in place. A kiss. Just ending. His wife, Cindy, wrapped around another man like she was never his to begin with. Her fingers in Bennett's hair, her body pressed into him like home. They didn't see Rick at first. She was still whispering. Lover, I love you so much. Cindy opened her eyes. Then she saw him. She let out a sharp scream, half shock, half guilt. Rick, what the hell? Bennett spun around like he'd been shot, his face instantly drained of color. His arm dropped from her waist, and he backed up like he'd just seen his own funeral. Rick didn't yell. He didn't throw a punch. He just stood there, staring, until his knees buckled and he leaned hard into the wall, eyes wide, glassy. He slid down slowly, like gravity had finally won. His hands trembled, tears pooled without permission. Cindy ran to him, voice shaking. Rick, baby, no please. Oh my God, what have I done? He didn't respond. Couldn't. Wouldn't. She knelt beside him, pulling at his arms, wrapping around him like her betrayal hadn't just shattered everything. They sat like that for a beat, two broken bodies on cold tile. Bennett stood back, hands laced behind his head, pacing like he wanted to run but couldn't, eyes wide, lost. Then Rick looked up. Cindy cupped his face, trying to bring him back. But he pushed her hands away, hard. His voice, when it came, was low and broken. Why? She opened her mouth to answer, but the look on his face stopped her. His pain twisted into rage, and he stood sudden and sharp. He backed away from her like she was poison. Nah, don't even. Don't say one freaking word. She fell to her knees again, arms out, silent tears streaking her cheeks. I said don't talk to me, he barked. You don't get that right anymore. He turned his gaze to Bennett. Cold, dead. Take her. She's yours now, a-hole. You two deserve each other. Cindy shot to her feet, reaching for him, desperate. He flinched, then snapped. Don't you dare touch me, Cindy! You're the mother of my kids. You were my whole goddamn life. And you threw it in the trash for this punk? He pointed at Bennett like he was nothing. You liquidated us. You liquidated me. So go be with your lover. Just get the hell away from me. Cindy froze. Her hand dropped. She looked at Rick and saw it. The end. She'd gutted him. And he wasn't coming back. She turned to Bennett, eyes empty. Leave me alone. She walked into her room, the one with the perfect white bed, clean sheets, no sign of the mess she'd made. Cindy collapsed onto it, shaking. She tried to breathe slow, calm her chest, her head. Cindy Thomas, 34, wife, mom of twins, business owner, and she'd just blown her life to hell. Rick sat frozen in his hotel room. Didn't move for damn near an hour, just stared at the wall, numb. Then his brain clicked on. He stood. He couldn't stay here. Not another minute. He'd drive back through the night. Hit the office in the morning. Shower, change. Try to remember who the hell he was before all this. But first, he grabbed a pen, sat down at the desk, wrote fast, angry, hurt, folded the note, stuffed it in an envelope, wrote one word on the front. Cindy, I'm going home. To our kids. I got nothing else to say right now. Saying you broke my heart doesn't cut it. That's like saying the Titanic took on a little water. I'm drowning. I can't breathe. When you get home, if you come home, send me an email. That's it. I'll leave when you walk in. I won't speak to you. I won't look at you. Not until I figure out what the hell just happened. I'll tell the kids I'm out for work. You stay with them. I hate leaving them with you, but I don't have a choice. Don't call, don't text, don't touch my world. Just one message. I'm home. And that's it. I don't trust you, not anymore. But if you've got one shred of decency left, respect this. The day you gave yourself to him was the day you ended us. I loved you more than anything. You burned it down like it was nothing. Right now, I don't miss you. I don't want to see you. I don't even want to hear your name. I hate you. Rick. Later that night, Bennett came out of his room. Rick was gone. No knock, no goodbye. He spotted the envelope, read the first lines. His gut twisted. He walked to Cindy's door, stood there a minute, didn't knock, couldn't. Instead, he stepped inside, left the note on her nightstand, and backed out. Then he sat by the door. Why? Who knows? Guilt, duty, some twisted version of love. Cindy woke up around 6 a.m., after hours of tossing and turning. Didn't mean to sleep. Her body just gave out. She got up, washed her face, used the bathroom. Quiet. Broken. Then she turned and saw it. Her name. Rick's handwriting. She stopped breathing. Tears hit fast. She sat on the edge of the bed. Hands shaking, she opened the envelope. Halfway through the note, she dropped it. Fell to the floor. Couldn't hold it together. Couldn't fake strength. She sobbed. Loud, ugly, full of grief and shame. Bennett heard her and came in. He knelt beside her, pulled her into his arms. She held on, shaking. Part of her wanted to blame him, scream at him, tell him he ruined everything. But no, this wasn't one-sided. She'd had chances, warnings, choices. She remembered the first time he said it. If you don't want this, tell me, I'll stop. She had said yes, every step of the way. She remembered Lori's words too, clear as day. She wasn't a sufferer. She was a grown woman who chose the wrong thing, over and over. Selfish, reckless, weak. I'm going home, she whispered. Soon as I can stand. Bennett nodded. I know, I get it. You're not the type to run. You'll face it. You always do. He wiped a tear from her cheek. You're a good person, Cindy. I'm sorry. If I could take the pain from you, I would, but I know I can't. Just know I'm here. She looked at him. Thanks. I hope this doesn't hurt you, but I don't know anymore. I'll call when I can, but we might never speak again. Bennett pulled her close. Not like a lover. Like someone who knew this was already over. I know, he said. Then stood and walked out. He told the staff to bring her car around. She's got a family thing. She's upset. Just give her space. The newer employees nodded. Didn't ask questions. The vets didn't say a word. They knew. They all knew. Around 4 p.m., 15 minutes from home, Cindy sent a text. Any chance you can come back after the kids are asleep so we can talk? It's all my fault. But I still hope we can find a way. Rick's reply came quick. Cinderella, I'm leaving now. The kids ate. This is the last time you'll hear from me until I reach out. Don't break this boundary. She dropped her phone and cried. Cinderella. Probably the last time he'd ever call her that. She wasn't his wife anymore. She was his betrayal, his heartbreak, his mistake. At the end of the longest week of her life, Rick finally called. Cindy picked up on the first ring. Hey, she said, breath shaky, trying to sound soft like that might still work on him. His voice was flat but sharp. Cindy, I'll be home around 5. I've been at work all damn week. Needed to keep my hands busy. He paused. There was a hitch in his breath, but when he spoke again, it was clipped and controlled. I'll keep it together for the kids. Poker face. I'll sit at the table. I'll smile. I'll ask about their day. I'll pretend. For them, for 3 hours. Then I'm sleeping in the guest room. You and I, we don't speak. Not until tomorrow morning, after they're up. I'll get up early, make coffee, act normal. They won't notice a thing. That work for you? Yes, she said quickly. Whatever you think is best. She hesitated, then pushed, just a little. When do you think we could talk? He didn't answer right away. When he did, his tone was surgical. Sunday. Mrs. Bowling's watching the kids in the afternoon. We'll go to the park. Sit somewhere quiet. I'll listen. You'll talk. I'll decide what's next. He let the silence hang for a second. Then he added, Saturday, we're with the kids. Together, they deserve that. I don't know how many more days we've got left. If any. Those last words dropped in her gut like concrete. Okay, honey, she whispered. But he cut in, voice like a blade. Don't call me that. Cold silence. No pet names, no baby. No sweetheart. No fantasy bullshit. You don't get to speak to me like I'm still yours. I'm not. We're just two people stuck in a house we used to love. You blew it to hell, Cindy. Don't try to dress it up. He hung up, just like that. No goodbye, no mercy. She just sat there, frozen. Then her legs gave out and she dropped into a chair, shoulders shaking, sobbing all over again. Somehow they made it through Friday. Pizza, a movie, forced smiles, but the kids didn't notice much. Michael even gave a whole speech about why they needed a dog, one that barks and runs, not a fish with gills and zero personality, he said. They laughed. It felt fake, but it was something. Saturday was more of the same, smiling, faking, surviving. Sarah looked at them sideways once or twice, like she knew something wasn't right, so they smiled harder, pushed the cracks deeper. They weren't going to let the kids see the collapse. But then came the beach. Michael yelled, "Family hug!" Rick pulled everyone in, arms around them all, smiling like nothing was wrong. But Cindy caught his eyes. Blank, hollow, cold. He was hugging her like she used to matter, but didn't anymore. That almost broke her again. Sunday morning was quiet. Pancakes, PJs, cartoons. After lunch, Rick stood up and said, "Me and Mom are going out for a bit. Mrs. Bowling's coming to hang." The twins whined a little, but ran off to change. They drove to the park in silence. Air thick. No music, no small talk. Just the sound of tires on pavement and all the crap between them screaming louder than words. They walked for a while. Too long. Then found a quiet spot. One bench near a busted picnic table. Rick sat down first, facing the park, back to the wall just like always. Of course, Cindy thought. Always watching the exits. Always watching people. Never stops looking for threats. Not even now. He didn't look at her when he spoke. "I want you to go first, if that's cool. 'Cause if I start, I might not stop. I'll listen. I won't cut you off. Say what you gotta say." Cindy nodded. She felt like she was standing in court. Only this time she already knew she was guilty. "Okay," she said, voice low. "I've been going over this in my head for days. I didn't know where to begin." She didn't say Friday night. She couldn't. His face that night still haunted her. "You deserve the truth, so I'm going to say it straight." She looked up, right into his eyes. "I've been sleeping with Bennett 8 months. Rick dropped his head into his hands, didn't speak, didn't move, then slowly looked up, waiting for more. "Before him, there was never anyone. I never crossed a line, not once. I didn't chase him. I didn't plan it, but I didn't walk away either. We joked around, talked too much. I liked the attention." Her voice cracked. "I was drawn to him. I kept saying it was harmless, but I knew it wasn't." Rick stared, stone-faced. No pity in his eyes, just wreckage. "I'm not here to defend myself, or him. I just want you to know what really happened. The first time we got close, before anything really happened, he stopped. He looked at me and said, 'Are you sure? If not, it ends now.' He gave me an out." She swallowed hard. "I didn't take it. I kept going." She wiped her palms on her jeans, her voice rough now. "No one made me. I knew what I was doing. I told myself a lot of things to make it okay. But I was lying, to you, to myself. All of it was me. Every move I made." She looked at him again. "I messed everything up. I wrecked us." She tried to soften, but the edge never really left her. "I'm sorry, Rick. I want to say I love you. I want to beg you to forgive me, but that'd just be another lie." She dropped her eyes. "I checked out, Rick, months ago. Even when I was home, part of me wasn't. It was with him. That's the truth. I thought it would pass, but it didn't. And instead of facing it, I let it rot everything we had." She paused, gathering herself. "I've been lying so long, I almost believed myself. But I know what I did. I betrayed you. I betrayed the kids. I betrayed who I thought I was. And I don't think any of us come back from that." Her voice dropped to a whisper. "I feel sick. Every day. I don't sleep. I hate myself. And not just because I got caught. I hate what I am. What I let myself become." Rick dropped his head again. His shoulders shook. He didn't wail. He didn't yell. He just broke, quiet, messy, and real. She watched him crumble. And for the first time, she really saw it. What she'd done. 10 minutes passed. No words. Just the wind, the trees, and the sound of Rick trying to hold it all in. Then he straightened up, wiped his face, looked her in the eye. His voice was calm. Dead calm. I don't know if this is the last time we'll ever sit here as husband and wife, but I'm going to say this. He paused. Thanks for not bullshitting me. You didn't dress it up. You didn't say it was just Zex or some dumb phase. You didn't say you still love me when clearly you don't. Another pause. At least, I hope you were being real, but hell, I'll never know now, will I? Cindy looked down. That hit deep, because it was true. You gave yourself to him for 8 months. You let him in, emotionally, physically, all of it, and I didn't have a clue. You know why? He leaned forward. Because I trusted you, with everything I had, my life, my soul, our damn kids. He looked out at the trees, jaw clenched tight. That trust? Gone, dead, just like Cinderella. He laughed once, no humor in it. There ain't no fairy tale now, no prince, no magic, just this mess. He looked at her again. I've never felt hopeless before, not once. Not even when I was broke and sleeping in my car back in the day, but this is hopeless. He breathed deep. I'm not filing for divorce. Not yet. Cindy blinked, confused, but he cut her off with a hand. I heard this therapist once say, if you've got kids and you're thinking about divorce, go throw yourself in front of a bus first. Kids can heal from grief. They don't come back from abandonment. He let that sit for a second. So, no, I'm not leaving. But don't get it twisted. This house ain't a home anymore. It's a truce zone. I can't play pretend for 11 years till the twins hit college. I'm not built like that. She looked at him like maybe, just maybe, there was hope. He shut it down fast. Don't read into this. I'm not doing this to get back together. I'm doing it to breathe, to keep my damn head on straight. He stood, rubbing his face with his hands. I'm seeing a shrink this week. Not for us, for me. I need to learn how to survive this without losing my mind or screwing up our kids. She opened her mouth to speak. Don't, he snapped. Just don't. A beat. We're staying in the house. You've got those work trips coming up. Go. I'll take one night out a week to clear my head. You get yours. She swallowed hard. Rick, No, you don't get to ask questions. You don't get to care who I talk to or where I go, just like I don't give a damn where you go or who's in your bed when you're gone. She winced. That's what you wanted, right? That freedom, you got it. He stepped back, looked at her one last time. You're on your own now, Cindy. Don't come looking for sympathy. Don't come looking for me. They sat there for a while, quiet. No hugs, no hand-holding, no we'll get through it. Just silence, crossed arms, red eyes, tears. Lori had warned her. The bill always comes due, and it'll cost more than you're ready to pay. Cindy had thought she'd already paid. She hadn't. The next month, they lived a double life. In front of the kids, full act, soccer, karate, bedtime stories, family dinners, even nailed the parent-teacher meeting. Miss Snyder had no clue anything was wrong. Behind closed doors, cold. Rick barely looked at her, spoke only when needed. Walls high, face unreadable. Sometimes she'd glance over, hoping for something, a look, a word, a crack, nothing. She didn't blame him, didn't make excuses, but the silence hurt more than yelling ever could. Every week, Rick told the twins he had a business trip. He packed late, came home the next night. Quiet again, but it wasn't work. It was walking, thinking, planning. He mapped out his life like a war zone, picked it apart the way he did at work. Risk, reward, long-term damage. Should he stay? Should he leave? Would the kids be better off with lies or divorce? What would the firm say? Could she even keep her business if it blew up? And what about Bennett? Was she still tied to him? And the big one, was Cindy sorry? Or just sorry she got caught? 2 weeks later, he had his answer. Plan half built, but clear enough. He asked Mrs. Bowling to babysit, then took Cindy back to the park. Same bench where it all fell apart. They sat. Rick didn't waste time. Cindy, he said, calm but flat, thanks for giving me space. I've got some things to say, then you can talk if you want. She nodded. He looked her dead in the eye. I won't rehash that night. You already know what it did to me. I'm not perfect, but I've never cheated. Not once, even when I could have, because I believed in us. He kept his eyes on her. I've loved you since day one. I thought you felt the same. Turns out I was wrong. Her voice cracked. Rick, I know I don't deserve a second chance, but I want one. I'll fight for us. I'll do anything. He looked away, exhaled. I believe you mean that, but I don't trust you. And without trust, what the hell are we? She flinched. He didn't stop. If you said the sky was blue, I'd still double check. That's where we are. I can't watch you walk out the door without wondering who's waiting on the other side, and I sure as hell can't touch you again without seeing him. Beat. You wanted him. You chose him not once, not a slip. Over and over. That was a choice. She slumped. She wanted to beg, promise she'd be loyal now, but she knew that didn't matter. I want to fix this, she whispered. I want to believe we're still worth saving. Rick's face darkened. You want me to fight for us? His tone was low, but sharp. He leaned in. What do you think I've been doing all these years? Working 60 hours a week, coming home and still showing up for you and the kids? Learning what made you feel seen, loved, valued? He didn't blink. You want to know what your fight looked like? Screwing someone else in hotel rooms while I kissed our kids goodnight? He sat back, eyes burning. I've got 100 questions. But what's the point? I don't believe your answers. Maybe you're sorry. Maybe you're just better at hiding it now. Cindy broke again, looked away, couldn't speak. Rick wasn't done. You remember the Ritz night? The beach, the wine, that suite. That was right after one of your weekends with him, wasn't it? She didn't reply. He laughed, cold and bitter. I thought I was giving you something special. You'd already had it in his bed. What a damn joke. I didn't laugh at you, she said quietly. Didn't have to, he snapped. I was the punchline. She sat there, shattered, tears running down her face. Are you divorcing me? Rick shook his head once. No, but I'm not staying married either. She blinked. What does that mean? It means I've got a plan. Not today, not here, but soon. It's not up for debate. You lost the right to help decide what's best for us. Or even the kids. I'll handle that. She looked panicked now. But how am I supposed to know what you're doing? He stood up, calm, cold. You'll find out. They talked a few more minutes. Cindy asked soft questions, trying to get something. Anything. Rick gave her nothing. Whatever he was planning, he wasn't letting her in. A few months ago, she said quietly, Lori told me, if you dance to the wrong tune, the piper shows up to collect. She looked away. Guess she was right. Rick's eyes snapped up. Lori knew. His voice went flat, cold. She warned you. Cindy nodded, ashamed. She tried. Warned me and Bennett both. Rick's jaw clenched, eyes wet. So before you even started cheating, you knew. And you still didn't come to me, didn't say a word, just kept screwing around while I made dinner and kissed our kids goodnight. His voice cracked. Cindy dropped her head, crying hard now, shoulders shaking. For a second, he shifted. She thought maybe he'd come hold her, just for a second. But he didn't. He stood, arms crossed. Well, he said, voice like steel, the trumpet's blown. First payment's due. Might not be the last. 2 weeks and 4 days later, Rick left for one of his business trips, his usual escape route. He kissed the kids goodbye, hugged them a little longer than usual. Cindy noticed. Thought maybe it was just the weight of everything catching up. That night, she slept deep. Melatonin helped now. Rick had even told her to leave the kids with Mrs. Bowling overnight so she could get real rest. Bowling was like family. She said yes, thrilled to have them. 5:30 a.m. Cindy's phone rang, again. Wouldn't stop. Finally, the sound broke through her sleep. She grabbed it, groggy. Hello? Is this Cindy Thomas, wife of Richard Thomas? The voice was calm, too calm. Cindy sat straight up. Yes, that's me. What's going on? Ma'am, I need to confirm your address. 918 South El Camino Court? Yes. What's happened? Your husband drives a gray 2019 Lexus ES? Yes, please. What is this? Mrs. Thomas, I'm sorry to inform you. Your husband was in a car crash on the Highway 79, just west of Warner Springs. Her heart dropped. Is he okay? What hospital is he in? A pause. The accident was fatal. His body is being taken to UC Medical Center in San Diego. It should arrive shortly. I'm very sorry for your loss." Silence. Then it hit her. A scream tore out of her chest. Long, raw, shaking the walls. She collapsed onto the bed, sobbing into the sheets, screamed again, and again. Her body eventually gave out. She lay there, empty, shaking. After almost an hour, she got up. She had to tell the kids. She had to call her mom, Rick's parents. She needed a friend. Anyone. Kelly was in Europe. She wasn't sure she could even drive. She splashed water on her face, tied her hair back, threw on the nearest clothes. She was heading for the door when the doorbell rang. It was Brad Stanton, family lawyer, Rick's longtime friend. His face said it all. "Cindy?" he said, soft. "I just saw the news. I'm so sorry." She collapsed into him, bawling in the doorway. He held her, solid, silent, like a man standing in the storm with no umbrella. Minutes later, Mrs. Bowling ran across the lawn in her robe, wide-eyed, worried. Cindy couldn't speak. Brad did. Mrs. Bowling cried too, then grabbed Cindy into a full, tight, mom-style hug. When Cindy calmed enough to talk, she said, "I need to see him. I have to go." Brad nodded. Mrs. Bowling would stay with the twins, take them to school, tell them it was a last-minute work trip. The truth would come later. Brad drove. Cindy stared out the window. Her phone lit up nonstop. Calls, texts, messages, friends, family, neighbors. She called her mom. Her mom said she'd catch the next flight. Then she called Rick's parents, Connor and Lily. That call broke them all. They said they'd be there before the kids got home. After that, Cindy shut her phone off, just stared at the waves rolling by. The next 5 days were hell. She told the kids, Rick's parents helped, Mrs. Bowling, too. She made calls, insurance, cops, funeral homes, clients, canceled weddings, rearranged meetings, barely ate, barely slept. The grief came in waves, then guilt. But one thing stuck in her head. What the hell was Rick doing on that highway? Why was he out near Warner Springs in the dark so early? The crash report said he was going fast, but not reckless. No pills, no booze, no note, just nothing. He'd had steak and salad the night before, drank water, slept alone. None of it made sense. Bennett picked up his phone more than once to text her. Each time, he stopped. He knew his face, his name, his presence would only make it worse. Lori found out during a meeting. She froze mid-sentence. Her assistant saw the look on her face. Shock, yes, pain too, but also something else. She didn't look surprised. She never showed up at the funeral. The funeral was Friday morning. Everyone showed up. Cindy sat there in a daze, listening to story after story about Rick's loyalty, his jokes, his kindness. She already knew he was good. She didn't know how good, not until now. Each story felt like a punch. If I'd been more there, more loyal, more of a wife, she thought, maybe he'd still be here. It was a question she couldn't shake. Late Sunday, Brad came by the house. He spoke with Cindy's mom and Rick's mom, quiet and quick. They nodded, gathered the kids, and left. Cindy came downstairs. Brad sat at the kitchen table, hands folded, face unreadable. He looked calm, maybe even satisfied, like he knew something she didn't. "Want something to drink?" Cindy asked, confused. He shook his head. "No thanks, just sit." She did. Brad spoke slow, steady. "Cindy, before I get into this, 2 things. 1, I'm your friend, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here as a lawyer, representing a client." He let that hang for a beat. That client was Rick. Cindy gasped. Her hand flew to her mouth. Brad nodded. "He set this up before he died, paid me in full, told me exactly what to do in case anything ever happened." He leaned in slightly. "Second thing, Cindy, I didn't know. I swear I had no clue what he was planning. None." Cindy frowned. "What do you mean? Nobody plans an accident?" Brad's face didn't move. "He left clear instructions, spoken and written. Told me to carry them out, no questions asked." Brad pulled a single envelope from his bag. "This is for you. I haven't read it. Wasn't allowed to. My job ends here." Cindy took it, hands shaking. "That's it? Nothing else?" Brad looked uncomfortable. "Can't say. Rick locked me down tight on the rest." He stood up and left. Cindy sat there staring at the envelope, then slowly opened it. The piper had come again. "Cindy, you know I'm gone. The funeral's done. Brad gave you this and left. The kids are with your mom and mine. They won't be back for a few hours. You'll need the time. This is it. Option 3, the best I had left. I loved you. Fully, stupidly. Now it's gone. You took it with you. So I made a choice. 2 weeks ago, I bought 3 acres by Eagle's Nest. Lake views, quiet, said it was for you and the kids, weekends, memories. That was the cover. The land was a smokescreen for insurance. If they dig, you stick to the story. I bought the land, drove back early for a client call, lost control on 79. Clean road, no pills, no booze, high speed. Tragic accident, it works. Brad will help manage the details. You just tell them what I told you. Don't slip. I changed the will. Kids get 90%, about $3 million. College, future, everything. You get 10%, roughly $300. Okay, honestly, I didn't want to give you a damn thing, but I figured you'd need help raising them while pretending to mourn me. The kids. I once told you a shrink said pass away is easier for kids than divorce. I checked. He was right. That's why I didn't leave you. Not out loud anyway. One day they might hate me. Hope not. Hope they understand life's messy. Right now they'll mourn end, not rejection. Maybe you'll go back to Bennett. Maybe someone new will come along. Whatever. Just don't bring them around the kids until they're grown. That's all I ask. One last thing. Burn this letter, all of it. No pieces, no second thoughts. If insurance ever finds it, everything I did for them is gone. Read it a couple more times if you need to, but then burn it. If I ever meant anything to you, burn it. Maybe you'll hear from me again someday. Cindy dropped to the floor, letter still in her hands. She screamed his name, over and over. The pain tore out of her sharp and endless. Guilt, shame, heartbreak, like being crushed under her own chest. She sobbed until she couldn't breathe, then sat up, face swollen, arms limp. She read the letter again, then one more time. Then she stood, walked to the fireplace, dropped the pages inside, struck a match, watched the flames eat them alive. No tears now, just smoke and silence.